little bit early for a lot of people. Before we begin today's workshop, I would like to present to you Routee first, and who we are and what we do. To sum up what we saw in the video, Routee is a web platform that provides omnichannel services for marketers and developers. So we are specialized in cloud communication solutions, and from our platform you can send SMS campaigns, voice campaigns, you can do two-factor authentication, you can send push notification, RCS messages, and you can do marketing automation, which is going to be a focus of today's workshop. We offer our services through 12 countries to the whole world, and we work with some global top companies such as Microsoft, Skype, and Uber, but we also provide solutions for smaller businesses and online shops. Okay, did you know that with marketing automation you can actually double your sales? According to the Business Insider research, companies that have implemented marketing automation processes such as automated sending of email marketing campaigns or SMS campaign have seen increase in their ROI up to 183%. Another fact that showcases how important it is to have personalized messages to your customers is there are more than 3 million online shops worldwide, and this number is just rising. So, to separate yourself from your competition, you need to offer authentic product or service, and of course to have right messaging. How you will combine these two depends on the data you have. As we said, competing for users' attention is a challenging task. And if you look at through advertising, you have only 8 seconds to engage with your audience, then you realize that your decision has to be based on data. First topic of today's workshop will be shopper marketing and how you can implement shopper marketing with marketing automation to actually boost your ROI. And at the end of the workshop, I will show you how, like, a practical example of implementation of these two topics. So let's start with shopper marketing. What is shopper marketing? Well, definition traditionally is that it's a marketing strategy based on, focused on impulse purchases when the consumer is about to make another purchase. Or let's say giving more purchasing options to the shoppers at the point of sale. You all know this situation. You went to the grocery store, you're buying products, and on your way out you see your favorite chocolate in 2+1 size. What are you going to do? Are you going to deny this offer? Well, I'm sure I will not be strong enough to do that. So the main goal goal of shopper marketing is actually to influence the decision-making process while your, let's say, customer is in that state of mind. The more data you have, the better you will segment, right? But if you do it if you do it just manually, it will drain your resources, it will take you way too long, and also there is a possibility of human error. That's why we suggest automating your processes. By automating your processes, you will get a clear buyer persona profile, and you can choose the right communications with your customers. For example, according to the maybe data that you collected, your buyer persona profile can look like this. It's a male between 20 to 35, interested in sports, occasional buyer on your website, and of course, he's price-oriented. Also, important information for this buyer is that he actually goes to your website mostly through mobile. So, in this case, how are you going to actually implement shopper marketing? Well, for example, you can send him some discount codes through your SMS, or you can text him on Viber, or you can even send emails, but since this shopper is more mobile-oriented, it's better to maybe stick to the notifications that he will actually open in more cases. So, the evidence suggests that impulse purchases are more emotional rather than rational. So, how you can actually influence people to make a decision? That's where shopper marketing for online business actually is based on personalized data, and how you will collect your data depends how you implement it. For starters, first you need to have your customers on your website, right? If you say that most of the time you will do that through advertising, what one ad who should have that is going to actually give them reasons to click on it? So we need, first of all, perfect call to action, the one that corresponds to the need of the buyer. And actually, not just to give them a good reason to click on the ad, we should induce a fear of missing out. For example, we could send him notification that we just have 2 articles left, or we can send notification that this offer just expires in 2 hours. In that way, you're inducing the fear of missing out and reducing actually risk of buying the product if you offer them trial period, which is a lot of things that a lot of online shops actually do. So, to conclude, shopper marketing for online shops presents even more possibilities. How you will combine your shopper marketing with your overall marketing strategy depends on where is your customer in their customer journey. So next, I want to talk to you about data, because as I said, everything that you based on your decisions, your actions should be based on data. So why data is so important? You probably heard these sentences before. Data is the king, and who masters data will rule the world. Or data is becoming the new raw material of business. So first of all, let's ask ourselves, why is data so important? And why do all the decisions have to be made based on data? I will give you, let's say, 5 main reasons why data is important today. Discovery. There are more than 1.7 trillion search queries per year. You can imagine how hard it is actually to find the users who will come to your website if you work it like that. So data needs to show us where are gaps in communications with customers, and by removing those gaps, will make ourselves more visible to the customer. Also, if you have sufficient data about your customers, actual or potential, and properly segment your customer base, it's actually half job done. Why? Because if you have a buyer persona clearly, you know which kind of message you should use. Third one, let's say, benefit of data is actually that by obtaining data-led insights, you will take confident actions and you'll be sure that everything that you do will be actually improving your ROI. Measurable, let's say by looking at data, you can see how well you are with your current strategy. Do you need to change your KPIs? Do you need to adjust your advertising or any other the flow of communications that you have with your customer? And fifth, for me, let's say it's no-brainer, because if your plans and your decisions and your actions are actually supported by facts, not by fiction, it's easy for you to understand that. Without data, you're just another person with opinion, but without opinion, you're just another person with data. What this tells us? Well, it's not just important how you collect the data, it's also important how you use the data. So, what about the benefits of automation of data? First of all, the benefit is that you will reduce your cost, because you will actually produce better quality services and products, and in that way you will reduce overall costs. Second thing, what you are getting with automation of data is improving your system performance. We all know the situation, we're overbooked and overloaded with workflow. But if you like software to do your gathering information for you, it will only not just help your workers to be happy, but you as a company will work better. And third benefit, I would say maybe the most important benefit, is that it gives you more reliable results. So automation allows you to gather all the important data on one place, and from this place, as a platform, you can send different automated messages depending again from what you want to say to your customer and where your customer is in their customer journey. Let's now talk about marketing automation, because from all of the different, let's say, data automations, I think for us in this moment is the most important one. What is marketing automation? There are a lot of definitions, but we can define it as a type of self-operating technology that allows companies to target their audience by automating marketing messages, and in that way to generate sales leads. No matter the size of your business, marketing automation can give you power to achieve your marketing goals. So let's have a look at some thoughts from marketing leaders when it comes to marketing automation. By increasing efficiency through better qualifying leads and increasing activities by ensuring sales efforts are more personalized and relevant, marketing automation enables sales teams to do what they do best: sell. Marketing automation is an essential component of every front office strategy and critical part of enabling cost-effective customer interactions through the internet. What these two sentences have in common? Well, if you don't have a marketing automation, you're bound to make some mistakes that could cost you your sales and your brand reputation. For example, did you know, according to one research, that retailers in USA lose around $93 billion in sales annually due to the out-of-stock option? So this is one, let's say, situation that you need actually to have a right response to your customer. So what you're going to do is to automate your messages for this situation. You should notify your customer as soon as possible, because they will appreciate this information and you will build your reputation as a reliable company. Second thing, what I suggest is to notify, not just notify, but to apologize for the mistake. Because then they will have a, let's say, better feeling as humans that you interact with them one-on-one. And of course, what you can also do is to offer them similar product, which will allow you actually to not to have loss of sales in that point. So, to sum up, marketing automation in your company will boost your ROI by reducing costs, because you'll do it just once, I mean setup of the marketing automation, and you can have it for a lifetime. There are 4 different types of marketing automation, and with our platform Routee, you can these types. First of all, you have a free, let's say, model. With free model, you get you can upload your customer base free of charge. Platform will allow you to segment by the different, let's say, factors, and then you can choose manually to send campaigns to your customers. But you all know if you have a lot of customers, it's quite hard, and again, there's a possibility of human error. So what you can choose next is either pre-bought model, which allows you to have like 10 flows of communication. For example, you can choose to have notification when you have abandonment cart, or you can choose to have notification when somebody makes an account or make a buy. There are fixed 10 flows of communication, and you choose which are you going to use for each buyer profile. Customized model, on the other hand, gives you more, let's say, freedom. You can define your user experience completely. You can define each step in marketing funnel, and you can actually drag and drop your different flows and make for every customer however you want. And ultimate model, let's say, is data learning machines, where you totally can customize user experience and actually predict what they're going to do on your website. So, to conclude, with marketing automation, you can choose different types, but from how big is your company or what purpose do you have to satisfy with the marketing automation, you can choose different models. So, let's have a look at a practical example of how you can combine marketing automation with shopper marketing and actually, as I said, boost your ROI and reduce your cost. So let's say we have an online shop, I will call it online shop A, and there, for example, online shop that sells shoes. So they already have a social media presence. Facebook, Instagram, most of the companies have. They installed Facebook Pixel, and they're tracking what their users are doing from Facebook. But they realized that Facebook is actually the owner of the information. So they want to do marketing automation of their process. But why? Because they will gain more information on their website, and in that way they will be sure that they are making the right decisions. So, what is the, let's say, goal to this for this online shop? First of all, maybe they want to promote their new collection. Let's say this is the first business goal. Also, what they want to do is to reduce abandoned shopping cart rate. And the third is to collect additional data, because with additional data you can continue communicating with your customers. In this case, what company wants to track is click-through rate. They want to track the cost per acquisition and cost per click. Of course, ROI from the campaign. So let's start with how they will advertise, because most of the companies actually, in order to attract customers, need to advertise, especially if they are, let's say, smaller companies in that way. So, previous data shows that Facebook has been their most efficient channel. They did Google advertising, they did Facebook advertising, Instagram, they tried, but the return on investment is best for them from Facebook. After A/B testing different campaigns, Facebook campaigns that you already probably know, they found out that multi-product ads are the best choice for them. And I will explain you why. According to Adobe research, multi-product ads can lead to increase of 50 to 300% in click-through rate, which is quite a lot. Also, you can get 25% reduction in cost per click as a result of higher engagement. So you can also have a more efficient cost per acquisition, which is also really important stuff when you are doing advertising. You want to get better results. somebody of you already did, so you probably know how to set up this campaign. Multi-product ads are Facebook campaign ads that you actually do in Facebook Editor. You set up campaigns for every product. You can have a landing page, you can have a link, and you can track for every landing page who is coming and from, let's say, which site. And you can have also, of course, description for every product. By using multi-product product ads, you can actually reduce the amount of clicks necessary to get from one ad to another, which is great for direct response objectives. And this is in combination with shopping marketing, what we want to achieve. So we want them to click and make impulse purchase as soon as possible. So what happens when potential leads lands on the shopping page of this online shop? Well, we propose setting numerous flows of communication with your customers, and one of the choices you can do is actually to make a contest form. Why forums are so important? Well, I will give you a few examples. Let's say, first of all, forms are a good way to have additional information from your customers. So, in order to communicate with them in the future, you need more data about them. And let's say that company A makes a contest from a pop-up to every time that someone clicks on the product page. They will put the contest form on every landing page of the new collection, and in that way they will actually give added value to their customers who comes to the landing pages for information they will provide us. After that, when we collect actually new information, then what are you going to do with the information depends on definitely what are your goals are. For example, you can promote your new collection, you can give them discount, you can send them notifications when the order is shipped. There are a lot of ways what you can do actually after you additionally have your information. So that's why company starts with notifying either through SMS or Viber messages, or you can even use new ways of communication like RCS. You can all use forms as a guest checkout point, because this option gives you actually more time for your customers not to go away if they are bored to make an account on your website. Of course, if you want to ship some product, you have to have their information, so they will give you additional, but this is this psychological effect that you have on them, and they don't give you too much information in the beginning. Once you have your customer in your database, either as a guest or with account, there are numerous ways you can do. So let's see some statistics that will, let's say, prove what we are talking about and why it's so important to have your marketing automation along with your shopper marketing for your online shops. The average shopping cart abandonment rate is really high, it's 68.81%. So, by tuning your checkout flows and your design, your communication with your customer, you can actually reduce this abandonment shopping cart rate. Also, there is information that for American, let's say, market, there is more than 206 billion worth of lost orders. You can imagine how much you can actually gain. I don't have information, let's say, for Greece or for Europe, what is the, but I'm sure it's quite a lot as well. And of course, if you implement different flows and if you make your messages customized to your audience, you can improve your ROI, as you said, for 183%. What you also have to think about when you are making this kind of flows for your customer is that, first of all, According to one research, there are more than 58% of mobile revenue comes from their mobile website. So when you're thinking about doing maybe contest form or any other types of marketing automation notifications, you need to think about that this should look like really good at mobile, and not just that your mobile should be responsive. Also, this research shows that 85% of the people think that a company's mobile website should be as good as your desk. I know this is maybe information that you heard, but a lot of actually online shops don't care about these things, which is quite important. And finally, over 70% of businesses are currently using or planning to use some type of marketing automation, which can be leveraged to carry out automated processes. Automated lead generation helps you generate your sales lead, capture contact details, and of course score your leads. So to conclude, make sure that you start with your marketing automation as soon as possible, because you will boost your sales and you will have your customer lifetime value just prolonged. There are a lot of possibilities that you can do. I just, let's say, scratch the surface with the notification, but you can actually do a lot of these things with our platform. And for the end, I would like to say again thank you for joining me this morning. And if you have any questions, you can ask me now or you can ask me now.
The first slides, referring to the second, mentioned something about 3 million online shops.
Yeah.
What are you referring to? Globally?
Yeah, globally, worldwide. There are just one research that I found. There is, let's say, last year it was more than 3 million. So today, every day, this number is rising. So you can imagine how hard it's actually to compete for users' attention that way. So this is a worldwide, actually. Okay. That's it. Thanks.
Καλημέρα σας και από μένα. Εγώ είμαι ο Δημήτρης Τσιμενιώτης, ο Διευθυντής Πωλήσεων Enterprise Πελατών της AMD Telecom. Θα ήθελα να σας ευχαριστήσω για την παρουσία σας εδώ, σε αυτό το workshop. Να ευχαριστήσω για τη συνάδελφο την κυρία Κέχα, τη Marketing Manager της εταιρείας, για την πολύ ωραία παρουσία που μας έκανε. Και θα ήθελα να σας προσκαλέσω να περάσετε και από το περίπτερο το δικό μας, που θα μπορούσαμε εξειδικευμένα με τον καθένα σας να συζητήσουμε για τις ανάγκες του και το τι ακριβώς χρειάζεται, να δούμε τις δυνατότητες της συνεργασίας μας. Το περίπτερο μας βρίσκεται στον πρώτο χώρο, όπως μπαίνουμε μέσα από την είσοδο της έκθεσης, στο δεξί χέρι το τελευταίο στάνο. Οπότε θα ήταν χαρά μας με τον καθένα ξεχωριστά να συζητήσουμε για τις δυνατότητες έναρξης μιας συνεργασίας μας μαζί τους. Επίσης, θα ήθελα να σας ενημερώσω ότι έχουμε στη διάθεσή σας να σας δείξουμε live έναν agent που φτιάξαμε για το καινούριο πρωτόκολλο επικοινωνίας που θα έρθει της Google σαν απευθείας partners που είμαστε. Μιλώ για το RCS, Rich Communication Services, το οποίο agent χτίσαμε μαζί με την Air France, που παρουσιάσαμε σε παγκόσμιο επίπεδο την προηγούμενη εβδομάδα στο Africa.com κάτω στο Cape Town, και ανάλογα business cases μπορούμε να συζητήσουμε με δικές σας ανάγκες, να μπορέσουμε να χτίσουμε για το καινούργιο πρωτόκολλο του RCS που έρχεται μέσα στην επόμενη χρονιά. Όπως επίσης και για προσφορά την οποία ισχύει για αυτές τις μέρες της έκθεσης, για τα marketing automation που μας είπε η κυρία Κέχα, για να βοηθήσουμε τις εταιρείες να χτίσουν το προφίλ των πελατών τους, να βοηθήσουμε δωρεάν προς αυτό για να χτιστεί και να δούμε εξειδικευμένα για τις ανάγκες του καθενός σας. Και πάλι ευχαριστώ πολύ και σας περιμένουμε στο περίπτερο να συζητήσουμε αυτά τα πράγματα. Καλή σας μέρα.